Welcome to the Ricefield Archive. This time, we return to ancient Vietnam for a Vietnamese folktale, the legend of Bánh, Chưng, and Bánh Dai, where the Hùng King had a succession problem and an unusual solution. Whoever cooks the best dish wins the crown. And so, the legend begins. Long ago, King Hùng ruled the land. He was already old and had sat upon the throne for many long years. As his health gradually declined, he began thinking of choosing someone to succeed him. The king's wives had borne him 20 sons, all of whom had now grown to manhood. The king thought to himself, "Several of them are exceptionally talented, but that is precisely why I must choose with great care. Above all, I must find a way to prevent them from fighting over the throne." This was the matter that troubled him most. At last, following the advice of one of his attendants, the king decided to hold a contest and choose his successor according to its result. King Hùng summoned all the princes. Once they had assembled, he told them, "My sons, I know that I am not long for this world. I wish to pass the throne to one of you. Each of you must now seek out or prepare an unusual dish as an offering to our ancestors. Whoever brings me the finest dish, one that pleases me most, shall be chosen as my successor." Upon hearing their father's command, the princes sent servants far and wide in search of rare delicacies. They searched high and low, from the mountains to the depths of the sea, leaving no place unexplored. Whatever they heard was delicious or unusual, they did everything they could to obtain. Among the 22 princes was Liêu, the 18th son. Having lost his mother at an early age, Liêu had spent much of his childhood in loneliness. While the other princes hurried about searching for extraordinary treasures, Liêu remained at home with nothing to do. There was no one to help him with the task. Only 3 days remained before the contest, yet he still had nothing to present. That night, Liêu lay with one arm beneath his head, remembering all the finest feasts he had ever attended. He thought for so long that without realizing it, he fell asleep. In a dream, he saw himself and his 21 brothers preparing their dishes for the contest. Each prince had been given a small booth at the festival grounds, specially built by their father. Liêu had no idea where to begin, when suddenly a goddess descended from the heavens to help him. She said, "Nothing in the world is greater than heaven and earth, and nothing in mortal life is more precious than rice. There's no need to prepare many dishes. 2 meaningful cakes will be enough. Gather the sticky rice for me, then find me some beans." As she spoke, Liêu saw the goddess bring out several broad green leaves. While wrapping the rice, she explained, "This cake represents the earth. The earth bears trees, fields, mountains, and forests, so its color must be green, and its shape must be square. Meat and beans must be placed inside to symbolize the animals and plants that the earth supports. Then steam this fragrant sticky rice until it is soft, pound it, and shape it into another cake representing heaven. It must be white, round, and gently curved like the vault of the sky." When Liêu awoke, he began making the cakes exactly as he had been shown in his dream. The day on which the princes brought their dishes to the contest was a day of great excitement in Phong Chau. Vast crowds filled the city. People from every region eagerly came to attend a rare and splendid Tet celebration, one that would begin with a contest of food and end with the coronation of a new king. At sunrise, King Hùng arrived in a royal palanquin to perform the ancestral rites. Gongs and drums thundered, while banners and ceremonial fans filled the air with color and movement. Everyone waited impatiently for the judges to begin evaluating the dishes. At last, the long-awaited moment arrived. All the exotic delicacies brought by the princes, peacock rolls, phoenix patties, bear paws, rhinoceros liver, and countless others, proved inferior to Leo's two simple country cakes. When the people first saw his modest offering, they shook their heads and curled their lips in contempt. Disapproval was written clearly across their faces. Yet after tasting the cakes, their attitude changed completely. Every one of them nodded in admiration. A lac general rubbed his hands together and exclaimed, "What an extraordinary flavor, made from such ordinary things!" King Hùng himself was greatly astonished by the unfamiliar cake he had just eaten. He turned the remaining unwrapped cakes over in his hands and examined them carefully. Then he summoned Liu and asked him how they had been made. The prince explained the entire process, making sure to tell the king about his strange dream. That afternoon, King Hùng solemnly announced the result to his sons. The 18th prince had won first place and would inherit the throne. The king held up the two kinds of cake for everyone to see and explained why he had ranked them above all the other offerings. He said, "These cakes are not only delicious and precious, but also rich in meaning. They express a child's devotion and honor toward his parents, regarding them with the same reverence as heaven and earth. They are filled with love for our homeland, its fields, and its countryside. They are also easy to make, for they are made from the finest jewels bestowed by heaven and earth. Yet these are jewels that every person can grow with their own hands. Only someone of true ability could have imagined cakes such as these." From that time onward, it became a yearly custom for people to make these two cakes at Tet. They called them Bánh, a square sticky rice cake wrapped in green leaves, and Banday, a round white glutinous rice cake, and used them as offerings in the worship of their ancestors. Prince Liu later became king and took the royal title Tiet Lieu Vuong, becoming the 17th Hùng King. However, many of the princes who had lost the contest became jealous and resentful of Lang Liu. After their father died, each of them held tightly to the territory under his control. They built wooden fences around their lands as defensive strongholds, intending to compete with Tiet Lieu Vuong for power. And so ends the legend of Bánh Chưng and Banday. From humble grains of rice came a lasting symbol of heaven, earth, family, and Tet. If you enjoyed this story, please consider subscribing for more Vietnamese literature, folk tales, myths, and forgotten stories. Thank you for listening.